Hi, good evening. Today we will be talking about what do I do, what my background is, what I want from my life, and it's just more about what I am, what is actually Rishabh Kumar. So, starting off with good evening. Hi, my name is Rishabh. I am 22 years old. I was born in Mohali and raised as well. My family background lies in Firozpur cantonment area. Talking about my schooling, I did my schooling from St. Joseph Schools, Chandigarh, and my whole school life was spent in one school only because my school had all those classes which were required for a school till from playway to class 12th. Apparently, I started off as a bright student, but somehow in the year 2007, when I was in fourth standard, tables turned a bit and I got bad marks for the very first time. The reason I seriously don't remember it, but what I remember is that's where my downfall started off. And it hurted me in such a way that since then I remained a mediocre student forever. I I was always trying that I could get those good grades for myself, but things were not doing right for me as I was only able to score in that 55 to 70 range. And to be honest, at that point of my life, I was quite satisfied with me as well. Moreover, when I was in the same standard, I guess it was at that time when I realized that I stammer as well. So we had the shocking news of the marks plus the stammer. So these two things dipped a lot of my confidence in me. In the school time, as I told earlier, that I was fortunate enough that not a lot of people around me made a fun of me. However, they were a very few, but I grew to such a level that it didn't impact me at all because in a group of 100 people, if only one disturbs you, you don't make a fuss of it. You just say, "यार चल ठीक है इतना चलता है." I grew up until class 12th. I came in graduation as well. And I carried the same attitude with me. I guess that's where it went all wrong. Same it went for my studies, and the same it went for my speech. For my studies, when I was in higher classes, when I had to appear for my boards for the first time in the year 2014, I wanted to score a good marks. I wanted to score great, but I just ended upon on 6.8 CGPA, that is 63%. Did I expect those amount? Certainly not. I actually wanted more from myself. But what happened with me, I don't know, because maybe the mindset which I created for myself that was infused in me in such a manner that the 60 to 70 percentage marks was satisfying me to a very larger extent. I was shocked to see my result, but to be honest, that also didn't impact me to a certain level as well. Then came my class 11th. I wanted to go for humanities, but my parents insisted that I should not choose such an easy option, and I decided to go with commerce. And I was happy to choose commerce as well because most of my friends, which were in my previous classes, we all combined into one section for the commerce, and that was altogether a very great memory. But I didn't look at the important side. I was trying to study hard, but the only basic thing which I always lacked in me was the knowledge of the basics. I always wanted to hit at the higher level, but I never focused on what was required at the basic stuff. At the start of class 11th, which was a very disastrous start, I would say, I had a very bad result. I was nearly failing in all my exams. Out of 5, if my memory serves the best, I was failing in the three major subjects, and those three major subjects were of commerce only. And I was only clearing my language and the physical tests. So you can imagine the amount of mindset I have created for myself. I started to realize that that's not how I will be going to be in my life. I started working hard. I had a good tuition. To be honest, I decided that I need some external support rather than just relying upon the school tutors, despite the fact that they were also putting a lot of efforts. And when I had such a bad report card, there was no point that I was able to get back to my sports. I couldn't even think of asking my parents that if I can get back to sports, because I felt that now it's the time. I have recovered well from my fracture, from my injuries. I've also gained the weight. I can give myself a bit of time to rebuild my shape, but apparently that didn't happen, so I had to do it. So I had given my whole for the studies. I remember I had scored around 67% in class 11th. The teacher was very happy because after the disastrous performance in my first term, scoring 67%, which was seeing which was seeming to me a very difficult task, it happened on a very gradual note. Then came class 12th. Class 12th, I actually had a mindset that this is the class which will actually shape me. But the problem was the vast syllabus, the mindset, the attitude, the distractions towards everything. Please go. I'm recording a video just for that. She's my younger sister. I am 13 years elder to her. She's born on 2011. Well, coming back to class 12th, I had enormous syllabus for it. I had worked hard for it, but economics was the first subject for me. My microeconomics went good, macro was horrible. My physical education was absolutely brilliant. Accountancy was somewhere biting me because I was giving it a lot of time, but still I was unable to hit the boxes right. I was lacking few things, and due to its vast calculations and all the stuff, I around scored 62 out of 100. I could have scored more, maybe. That's where the mindset comes into role. I was very much satisfied with my 60 to 70 percentage of marks, and that's where it went wrong, very wrong for me. My business studies was also good. If my memory serves best, I scored 58 in it, and don't know why, but I scored 58 out of 100. For my physical education, it was good. I was scoring around 72 or 75 out of 100, and that was good. For English, I was all on the same path. So I ended up on scoring 62% in my class 12th. After improvements, however, I had a, before improvements before my improvement exam, I had only 59%. I won't be lying over here. So why did I give improvement exam. I gave improvement exam because I was reappearing for the BCom LLB's Punjab University exam and the common law admission test. That's a story for some other day. What I did in my gap year. That's about me. What I did in my schooling, what I achieved in my academic part, and where I went wrong. Talking about the mindset, I guess having a mindset which could have led me over to the brilliant path of scoring the 60 of 70 to 90%. Maybe I could have grown more, but that's where I always lagged in my childhood, because I was always satisfied with the marks I scored, be it 50%, be it 40%, be it 70% as well. I was always happy that I am across the borderline of passing it. That's where I went wrong, and carried a long way in my graduation. But now I have realized that I need to get rid of this attitude and the attitude can only be changed by my work, by my ethics, and by my principles. And same goes for my stammering. Till the time over these years, I haven't given myself sufficient time to improve my speech. Will I give it now? Well, that depends on how much efforts I put in for myself and how much I improvise with the same. That's it. I'll take your leave, and I will make sure that I upload more regular videos about me and about my past, basically sharing stories over here with you. Okay, bye. Jai Hind.